I'm Judi Vitale from readthestars.com, and it's time for another video. Well, today we're talking about people with difficult planetary configurations in their natal chart, using Arnold Schwarzenegger as an example. One of the titles that I'm considering for this video is Famous for What? You know, I get a lot of people who come to me and go, I want to be famous. I want everybody to know me. And I always say, well, why? What do you want to be famous for? And, you know, that's a question that I would ask someone like Arnold, because, you know, he has spent his entire life trying to be famous, and the bigger, the better, the best. And look where it's led him. I'm sure that he's very unhappy. Believe me, I have plenty of sympathy for his wife and the children and the child that he had with this other woman, and even the other woman. And I have sympathy for Arnold too, okay? He has something that a lot of people are born with, and some of them get through it and others don't. It's particularly difficult for people who were born in 1947 in the Leo time period, who have the Sun with Saturn and Pluto combined, okay? All in one place in their chart. Now in my chart, I have Saturn square Pluto, so I get in with a lot of people with this configuration because we sympathize for one another. It is a frustration. It's a matter of having like an exuberance, a desire to be powerful and to be effective, if you will. And it's being stomped upon by another force. So Pluto being the power and Saturn being the restriction. When it's together in a chart, it's difficult enough, or in a square or in an opposition. But when it's with a person's Sun, which represents your very being, the essence of who you are, it's extremely difficult. So if you read the article, you'll see some more details about the astrology of this situation. I just really, you know, want to point out that the important thing for everybody, no matter what your configurations are, is to understand them and how they can trigger unconscious behavior. I'm sure that if Arnold sat down and thought, if I have an affair with somebody who works for me and father a love child with her, then, you know, that's going to make my marriage and my happiness just wonderful. Well, it isn't. Arnold is probably still reacting to the pain that he had as a child with a father who was so difficult for him. He just always wanted to overcome him and always wanted to surpass him and show him how much better he was than his father. Well, I think that this unconscious behavior has sort of caught up with him. He's just always trying to get away with everything, and to see how much he can do to show how, I don't know, fertile or virile he is, without considering the consequences. And I think that he really chose well for a wife in terms of Maria Shriver, but at the same time, if he wanted her to just turn around and say, it's okay, I forgive you, he picked the wrong person. It's going to be very difficult for Maria to forgive bad enough. Forget she might never do, because this is just something that Scorpio people have. They have a very, very high sense of integrity, and if someone crosses them, they will never forget it, and they will have a way of getting back at them. So we're seeing what happened at the full moon, in that the announcement about what the big, deep, dark secret was came out. I'm still waiting to see the eclipse in June, around June 15th, and see, you know, what that does to Arnold. He may release a movie. He may also, you know, find that there's just a whole, you know, difficult thing for him to deal with, and let us hope that this brings him to the consciousness of his unconscious behavior so that he can change it and not act in a way that is self-sabotaging anymore. As for the rest of us, I think it's a good example. I think a lot of us get, you know, this vicarious pleasure out of seeing celebrities suffer, and that's not the case with me at all. But I do think it serves as a great example as to the trouble we can get in when we are not conscious of our astrology and the way that it shapes our behavior, our reactions to things, and the way that we treat other people. So I encourage you to keep learning and to keep exploring your own astrology, how it affects you, and how you can become a better person by knowing about it. If you have any questions for me, please send them to Judi, Judi, @readthestars.com.